What's up YouTube? Coming back at y'all today with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a review on Jujutsu Kaisen episode 20. And to keep this brief, there are three things I want to talk about in this review. So let's get right to the first thing. So at the beginning, of course, we have Hanami completely struggling against Yuji and Todo. The Mother Nature curse. I finally memorized that thing's name. It's Hanami. Okay, alright. So we got that right there. Basically, Yuji and Todo were boxing that thing in a corner, and we finally get to see what Todo's real cursed ability is. Basically, if he, I believe from what I remember, if he touches something or someone, he's able to swap places with said person or said object, which is pretty cool. That kind of reminds me of substitution jutsu. I thought that right there was pretty smooth. We see him and Yuji kind of like bodying Hanami, destroying Hanami. That thing not really being able to do anything back. And that first part of the episode, it's just basically Yuji and Todo beating him. Not really much to say about that part. It was enjoyable, but at the same time, we don't get into the real meat until this part of the episode. So moving on into the second part of the episode, which was easily my favorite part of the episode. Yuji and Todo really get the hang of tag teaming with each other using this new ability that Todo didn't really use yet. I believe he called it Woogie Boogie, something like that. Man, Todo's weird, but he's unique, and ain't nothing wrong with being unique. So moving on from that, he goes ahead, and then after that starts swapping places with Yuji in and out when it comes to taking out the Hanami Mother Nature curse. So that thing is basically getting his tail, its tail beat, like just destroyed. So ain't no point in me referring to Hanami as a he. I think that thing is genderless at this point. So moving on from that, so we have that going on, and during that sequence we get this incredible sequence. I'm definitely gonna be rewatching this some more. When Todo's like fighting Hanami, and the part where he threw it over his shoulder and then did this like sweep side kick. Oh man, that part was just smooth, and how everything was flowing together. And during that part we kind of get this Persona 5-esque music, and everything is just flowing so well. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Mappa, they know how to do it. They really do know how to do it when it comes to the animation sequences. But looking past that right there, I do like how Todo was basically keeping secrets away from Hanami about his curse, so that way that thing wouldn't be able to get used to it, because you really got to keep your cards to yourself. Speaking of cards, at the beginning of this episode, Todo was pretty much analyzing everything that Hanami's thrown at him and Yuji so far. So okay, he's already analyzed all that. And also, to go on a side point right quick, we will soon be getting Todo's backstory. We saw him as a little third grader jumping this high schooler by the river, and then after that, which seemed to be his teacher, she kind of shows up and she asked, "What kind of women is your type?" I mean, okay, so we kind of know where Todo got that from, but anyway, we didn't really get much else after that when it came to seeing that particular backstory right there. So moving on from that. Yuji and Todo, they're getting in sync even more further when it comes to taking advantage of Todo's Woogie Boogie ability. I'm not even gonna call it that, man. That's such a lame name, man. Even though Todo's my dude, I'm not. Come on, man. Like, really, that's the best name he could come up with. Anyway, moving on from that. So in the middle of the fight, Hanami punks out, uses that flower ability that it used on Megami on last week's episode, and basically we know if you activate your cursed energy, you're basically screwed at that point. And excuse me, you're pretty much screwed at that point. And right afterwards, Todo, he decides to cut off his cursed energy as soon as those flowers come near him. Hanami gets thrown off by that, and the beatdown continues. So later on in the fight, Todo does a pretty cool thing that correlated to what Megami had did before he left the battlefield. He left basically that staff splitting chain weapon or whatever. Don't know the exact name, like I said last week. Yeah, he left that weapon in the river, and you know, Toto used his cursed ability to swap out with that weapon and bring that weapon with him in the middle of this fight. He swapped it out with Yuji. Yuji got swapped out for that weapon. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, this weapon is this whole entire the whole entire cursed ability. It's definitely a twister, man. It definitely throws you off in terms of how it works. But at the same time, think of substitution jutsu from Naruto. Boom, you'll get the hang of it when it comes to memorizing how it works. So moving on from that, he uses this new ability, Cloud something. I totally forgot the name of it, but it was pretty cool. So he uses that weapon that Megumi Fushiguro was using last week and hits it up against Hanami. And then Hanami pretty much punks out again, decides to use this special ability of kind of like this flower. He decides to shoot this giant blast from its shoulder. And I'm just gonna call him he just because I'm getting so used to that. But basically launches this giant blast from the flower, and then after that doesn't get to do it because our boy Gojo comes in, finally breaks. Okay, now this is something interesting to bring up before we wrap things up here. Gojo, he's able to break down the veil, the barrier. And as we know, in the week before, episode 18, that barrier was specifically put up to keep a pest like Gojo up out of the fight. Because Mahito and his boys, Coat Rack Man Jozo, I know his name now, they pretty much know that they would have gotten bodied by Gojo anyway. So basically, they had that barrier veil set up to keep him out. But the barrier went down. And I'm about to get to that soon. So Gojo, he's looking and he's like, okay, all right, let's see where I should go. So he's kind of scanning what's going on. We see this new guy. I don't know his name. This weird perverted guy who gets confronted by Otahime along with Nobara and Mai. All three of them are kind of like cornering him. He has this blade and the handle is like gripping his hand, and Jozo said, since you're weak, I'm building the weapon to be like this. So okay, Jozo makes weapons. Okay. And I feel like that was the only reason why this guy was introduced, another psycho that works for Mahito. And then when the veil barrier came down, then his dumb tail ran away. So yeah, not much to say about him. He's got this ponytail. He's one of those weird dudes with like a couple of screws loose. Yeah, bump him. Moving on from that, even Otahime was like, what was that guy's deal? Okay. So going back to Yoshinobu, his name, man, Yoshinobu, whatever, however you pronounce it, whatever. I honestly don't care about him right now. So Master Roshi Genryusai 2.0, he's using his guitar ability. We know he's a mid-range fighter. Who could have guessed? He uses that up against Jozo, knocks him back. Jozo says, okay, he doesn't want me to get close because he's obviously a mid-range fighter. So who cares about that? Gojo pretty much shows up behind Jozo. And then afterwards, Jozo's like, oh, I'm about to get me a new coat rack. And obviously, we know what happens here. If you've seen the episode already. Gojo, he pretty much, he's got his crap already set up. And then he's getting ready to kill him. And Yoshinobu. No, Yoshinobu. We ain't going back to that habit. Yoshinobu says, don't kill him. Hey, chill. And Gojo, he pretty much just, splits up Jozo's arms and legs and knocks him up against the stone or whatever behind him. So that's pretty much what happens to Jozo. He sucks. Yoshinobu, he obviously wanted Jozo to be kept alive because they're getting ready to interrogate him and see what he knows and figure out the intentions as to why he showed up. So that was finished. And afterwards, Gojo gets ready to starts to take things a little more seriously, and he uses this move called Hollow Purple. And the animation looked so clean. Oh my god, Mappa, what are you doing? Stop! My god, it makes perfect sense why Jujutsu Kaisen decided to, why Crunchyroll decided to, award Jujutsu Kaisen as best anime of the year. But honestly, I couldn't care less about Crunchyroll Wars. I mean, all they do is just annoy me. But at the same time, yeah, we gotta acknowledge that. Best anime of the year. But anyway, all joking aside, I don't really take that seriously. Moving on. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, when it comes to his animation, man, Mappa just be so different. They better not mess up that Chainsaw Man anime adaptation. I mean it. But anyway, that's besides the point. So he uses Hollow Purple. And it makes you wonder, how many moves does this man have, man? So he basically splits in half pretty much the whole forest. The crap is gone. Half of it at least. And we can assume Hanami got caught up in that crap. And Tojo's like, well, shoot, man. I mean, you can't even tell if it's exercised. So we're pretty much assuming that it got obliterated. So moving on to wrap things up here. Gojo, he goes ahead and says, all right, guys, that's it. We done. Or so it seems. And he's kind of looking to the side as he's putting on his blindfold. And that's pretty much him recognizing the fact that there's something off, man. Crap ain't right. So Mahito, we go in the back. He has one of Sukuna's fingers. And we're about to head into the third thing that I wanted to talk about. This theory that I had. Mahito, he has the curse. And he says, all right, mission complete. Mission complete. Oh my god. I hit the fact that I referenced Fox McCloud from Smash Brothers Melee. But anyway, moving on from the cringy crap. Yeah, so that's about it. And that's how the episode ends. And we get this dumb preview with like baseball. Is that what we getting next week? Hey man, I'm gonna let y'all know. If for anybody who watching my reviews on Jujutsu Kaisen or whatever. Yeah, I don't think I'll be reviewing that baseball episode. If I don't like it, there might be some fun crap in it that I might want to talk about for a little bit, but I doubt it. But anyway, bump that. So going into an interesting theory that I have, I think Mahito, just to counter Gojo and kind of fight him out of excitement and pleasure, I think Mahito might exactly eat that Sukuna finger that he captured, just to make himself stronger, because he knows how strong Yuji is, because Yuji and Nanami were bodying the crap out of Mahito earlier on in the season, and he might be like, okay, let me get some of that juice too. I want some of that. Give me some of that. So I want that good crap. So he decided to, I don't know where he got that from. I don't know where they were keeping it, but he was able to find it. So my theory is, I think Mahito, I don't know, manga readers, keep your mouth shut. I don't want to hear nothing. No spoilers. So yeah, moving on from that, yeah, that's basically about it. That's how the episode ended, and I give the episode about 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I don't really take scores seriously, but yeah, just throw something out there. 10 out of 10. So that's about it. Geek Hustle is out. I'll catch y'all boys and girls next time. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I can't talk. Hit the subscribe button if you choose to. Smash that like button for much more. I can't do it. I can't do that generic YouTube talk. I can't do it. Yeah, hit the notifications bell if you choose to. Hit the like, dislike if you choose to. And I'll catch y'all boys and girls next time on Geek Hustlers. Peace. I can never speak well when it comes to doing these closings.